Hello and welcome to this Studio Brutal video. Here I'm going to show you how to make this dub techno chord that you can hear in the background with all the effects, all the processing you can see here. But I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch, so I'm going to delete everything in a sec and build it from the ground up so you can see everything and you can see the process I use using just Ableton stock plugins. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, if you can, please like and subscribe or leave us a comment. It really helps us out. It's much appreciated. Thanks a lot. So yeah, let me just delete everything and we'll get going. So yeah, I'm going to start from this blank canvas. So I'm going to start with the blank channel. Before, when I've done these, I've normally set up a rack before and then sort of spoken through it, but I'm going to do it from scratch here so you can see my process. So yeah, I've set up this MIDI, so it's just playing a couple of notes. You don't want too many notes because you use delays and stuff later on and it will get crowded. So this is the MIDI I've used. Then I'm going to chuck in an operator, and I'm going to add, in the MIDI effects, I'm going to add a chord unit which will convert these one finger notes into as if you're hitting the keyboard with a 3-finger chord. And I'm going to do +3 here and +7, which is like a standard minor chord that you get in techno, and especially dub techno. I'm going to change this to a saw wave, which is going to go a bit shrill, so be careful. I'll just turn it down. So yeah, I'm filtering that down, and then I'm going to so you can hardly hear it. And then I'm going to get on the filter section. I'm going to get the envelope amount and turn it up. This means the filter, for every note, the filter is opening and closing real quick. You can make it longer or shorter. It's quite a nice sound, that. So you want it to be plucky, and this will this is how you do that. It just means the filter is opening really quickly all the way and then back. And then I'm going to change the routing here to be. I'm going to add another oscillator in basically, but I don't want it to be FM. The routing is FM. I want it to be like an analog, like an extra oscillator that's routed to the output. So I'm going to use this one, this Tetris horizontal thing, which is the analog sort of modeling. Every oscillator goes to the output basically. There's no FM. And I'm going to copy on B. I'm just going to right click and copy from oscillator A. So both A and B, that's got a bit louder, I'll turn it down. Both A and B are the same now, and I'm going to detune one of them a bit. So you immediately get a nice sound. I'm turning the fine tune. I'm going to open up the filter and get it right. That's probably too much. I'll fine tune at 10 and then bring the filter back down. It's quite a cool sound. And then a bit of distortion. I'm going to use these 4 things here: model, analog synths, and a bit of distortion at the filter. Like the MS2 is the MS20. I'm not quite sure what they all are, but I'm going to use the OSR and turn filter drive up. It will get a bit louder. So yeah, that's quite a cool effect. So yeah, this is the key to it. You want saw wave, detuned chord, tight filter envelope, and a bit of distortion, and that's what we've got so far. You can add shaper as well, which is sort of harmonic distortion. I'm not going to use that, but you can. I'll just show you it there, and then next I'm going to add some random to this. I'll add an echo unit. I'll add an echo unit. I'm going to use more than one echo unit eventually. And a bit of reverb. I'm going to turn it down. And I'm going to put it on ping pong. Just keep it rhythmical in time, and I might these percentage here are delays, are like errors, how much is off, and I sometimes put one up and one down. So when they go across the stereo field, they're a bit off. You can hear it. If you've got both headphones on, or if you're stuck exactly between 2 good monitor speakers. Yeah, so then I'm going to add velocity, which is a MIDI effect here, and this is going to add random velocities to the operator, and the reason for that is to introduce some randomness. So I'm going to come here and make it and turn this up, which is frequency to velocity, which means if you play a louder note, it will come through the cut off, the filter will lift up more. So I'm going to turn this up, and then I'm going to turn random up on this velocity machine. And this means that some notes are going to go through the filter more than others, because you're getting random velocities put into operator, and then velocity is changing the filter. So it's always changing. And then also the decay, I'm going to change time to velocity here. So that means that pluckiness of, you know, so this decay time here, if I change this, it's going to change the decay time will change with velocity as well. I'll turn it the other way. So it's getting like shorter. So yeah, so then you've got basically some subtle variation going on just from this random velocity thing. And then I'll add some feedback. Then normally I'm going to add another echo unit, so I'll just duplicate this one. Yeah, that's quite cool. I'll turn the filter down. Yeah, see, that's quite cool. So yeah, so they both, so it's now going through a long effects chain. Basically, it's really wide stereo one, and I'm going to, between these two echo units, I'm going to put a filter, a bandpass filter, to give it like more sweeping movement, and I'm going to select that one. I want it to do like this, but more subtly, so I'm going to put it on 12 dB, and then give it an LFO, which I'll sync it like that'll do. That's quite cool, but it's the problem with the filter is that it's like it's blocking everything out that's not in this frequency range. So I want a wet dry control on it. I don't have that on a filter, so I'm going to make one by right clicking on the filter and clicking group, and then I'm going to add an extra chain, and that's going to make so this one, so like, I don't know if I can explain this. Yeah, so the first one, this is the I'll label it as wet chain and dry chain. So now I've got a filter, but I've also got a wet dry control, because I've got a total dry amount. So that's without the filter. If I pull this down, and if I pull that down and this up, it's just the filter. So now I can get some of the dry signal back in. Basically, it's a workaround to get wet dry on a filter. You group the filter and add an extra chain, basically. And then also I can go back to the filter and make it a bit more extreme, because there's that dry signal as well. Yeah, that's quite cool. And also you can click phase, which is a really awesome stereo effect. It's like having two filters separate, two filters separate, but one is back in time a bit for the left ear and the right ear are different. and then I'm going to add stuff like chorus and phasers to the delay chain, which are really good effect in dub techno. Phaser, I'll add the phaser here, and loads of feedback as well. Yeah, so you want to go extreme and then pull it back a bit. I'm going to add some feedback as well. Yeah, that's quite cool. And then basically what you want as well is lots of little subtle distortions. So I'll add an overdrive unit here, and then maybe a drum bus later on. So like if you had a hardware studio, it would just be representing saturation as the signal gets too loud. But I'd turn the wet dry right down. So yeah, so that you've got a bit of saturation in there. Then last of all, I'm going to add reverb to the end of the chain, and then I'm going to go back and add some more stuff in the middle. And I want a massive reverb, I quite like. I'll turn the decay time right up, and I'm going to shape it on here. Just change that to stereo, I think it sounds better. So yeah, that is it, I think. And then I'm going to add a bit of distortion again at the end, like as if you're saturating it at the desk after the reverb. And turn the wet dry down. So yeah, that is a fairly standard patch with a bit of velocity random, chord, saw wave, distorted, filtered down, plenty of reverb, plenty of echo with reverb and distortion, bandpass filter, and yeah, reverb and distortion. And I'm going to start to add some more stuff. Like I'm going to add a bit more chorus. Quite nice with a bit of feedback. I'm going to pull it back a bit. And then that's getting close to it really. One thing I could add as well is I can make this velocity change the pitch of one of the oscillators. But just subtly, that's too much. So like if I go to the second oscillator B and change it here, so maybe like that, it's going to drift more. Some notes are going to be more detuned than the other. Do you get what I mean? This means that when the oscillator changes, when the velocity changes here, it's going to chuck this oscillator B out of tune a bit. So oscillator, if I turn it up, you can hear what it's doing. The second oscillator is just is changing with the different velocities that this is making, but I'm going to just put it right down to something a bit subtle. So then now that just means it's got subtle detuning, and I'm going to add noise as well to the. What you can do is recording some firecrackle or like vinyl hiss into a sampler and add it to a new group this and add it to a new chain. But for now I'm going to add it with the vinyl distortion module. I'm just going to turn up the crackle here. It's quite subtle, I don't know if you can even hear that. But yeah, that's adding some crackle. If I pause it, you can hear the crackle. You can hear that crackle in the background. And it's been picked up on the chorus and the flangers with the phaser. So that's in the signal chain. I reckon that's it. You could add another filter. I think I will add another filter. Yeah. Just to give it some more movement, so it's moving. Make sure the LFO is set different to the other LFOs, so the movements are like moving against each other, if that makes sense. I'll give it a bit of drive here as well. So yeah, I reckon that's it. I reckon that's it for the processing. And now I'm going to make it into a rack. I'm going to control A, select everything and group. And I'm going to set this random to be a macro. This is how I make all the presets in my preset packs. I will link them below, by the way. If you want to get them, I'll put a big discount code as well. But this is how I make all the racks in the Dub Techno packs. So yeah, so I'm going to put random to one of the macros. So you can just turn it off or pump it and tweak it from here. And then this is always add this time, which is a global time, obviously, to operator, but it makes every envelope and every LFO shorter or longer, really, from just this one button. Here it's mainly just doing the filter envelope. So it's a really good thing to tweak. I'm going to add in here as well filter frequency. That's a really good thing to tweak as well. And then yeah, I'll add in like decay time for the reverb, the feedback. I'll add the feedback as well for both echo units and this, I think. Yeah. So for this, because I grouped this, if I right click on it, it's not going to map the macros to the front, it's going to map the macros to this group. So if I want to map this LFO to the first rack, I've got to right click on it here and it makes a macro here, then I right click on that and then that will add it to here. So basically I have to set it up as a macro twice. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I want this to be as a macro at the front, so I have to have it as a macro on its own group first and then set that up as a macro. And yeah, I need one more thing. What else should I have? I could make a load, really. There's a lot that could be done. Yeah, this filter. That'll do for now. So yeah, you can. So then you've got the most important parameter at the front to tweak here. So yeah, that's it. That's basically how I set them all up, and then after this I'll probably go back and tweak them all and get it sounding a bit better. But yeah, that is roughly it. You basically want a chord unit. You can use velocity for random as well, make it affect the filter, cut the filter short with the decay, some vinyl distortion to add crackle, chorus, a couple of filters, a couple of echo units. I group one of the filters to get wet dry, some distortions, and finally a reverb and a bit more distortion so you can saturate it at the end. Like that. So yeah, that's it. That's how I set up a dub techno rack from scratch. I hope you found this useful. And yeah, like I said, there's a pack of like 20 or so that I made the other week, the other month now, and I'll link that below with a big discount code. So yeah, go and get those. And yeah, that's it from me. Good luck with your music making. Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.